And changing your mindset around fitness and how you nourish your body is going to get you even further along on your health journey, because you're just like excited. You're excited to try new meals. You're excited to try new workouts, to see what your body can do today, to see how you can feel better, right? So those things for me were like what I was striving for rather than thinking about a fat loss journey to begin with. Hi guys, welcome to episode number 1 of the Wellness Diary. I'm Tanya Budkovich and I'm going to be your host, if you will. This is my YouTube channel. I am a certified holistic consultant and a certified PT. So welcome. I'm going to be doing an episode every single week, released on Sundays, with a new topic to help you on your health and fitness journey. Fitness related, nutrition related, mental health related, like anything, any topic. So if you do have any topics you want to talk about or you want more advice on, just drop it in the comments below. I would love to answer any questions or again, use it as a topic for one of these episodes. So today we're going to kickstart this year off with how I went through a transformation last year. And let me tell you, it was the biggest struggle year of my life. Like the hardest time I have ever had to go through was last year. If you know me, if you've been following my journey, I got diagnosed with BPD, borderline personality disorder, and a little bit of bipolar. So just going through that journey and discovering and like talking to therapists, talking to psychiatrists, like all of that, it was so much, and just learning about myself and my symptoms and everything. It was a lot, but I am in such a better place right now, and I'm really, really grateful that I did lean on my fitness and health journey to help me through this last year. And I really focused on seeing progress, however, in a very different way, if you will. So my goal wasn't to necessarily lose body fat. It was to heal my body. It was to reduce inflammation. It was to nourish my body. It was to feel good because I knew that my mental health wasn't okay. So for me to focus on that, I had to implement different things to help me feel good to the extent that I had control over, if that makes sense. I had no control really what was going on with my mental health, but I was able to control the movement I was doing every day. I was able to control the food that I was putting in my body, and I was able to control, in a sense, my mindset. So I'm going to share with you today my 5 tips on how I not only lost body fat, I gained lean muscle and sustained it, and still sustaining it and feeling so good in my body. And I'm going to share you guys the honest truth of this journey for me, because I'm not going to sugarcoat it. If I sugarcoat things for you, it's not going to be helpful. You're not going to get the things that you need out of this. And I want you to be able to relate to this. I want you to be like, if she can do it, I can do it too, because yes, you can do it as well. You just need to have the right tools, the right information, discipline, and consistency. So without further ado, let's get to tip number 1. Okay, so let's talk about tip number 1. So I didn't restrict my calories at all. Here's a few reasons why. When you restrict your calories, you actually can really negatively affect your body. It can cause internal stress, which then causes inflammation, which then you think you gained weight because the scale can go up and you can feel heavier and fluffier. Your hormones get out of whack because you don't have enough nutrients in your body to give your body what it needs to produce those hormones. Your sleep is off because you're stressed out because you're not eating enough food. And there's so many things that come with being in a calorie deficit. And that's why it's super important to, I want to say, work with someone so they understand and they help you learn how to properly be in a deficit, as opposed to depriving your body of food too much, where then everything else is compromised. So what I did, like I mentioned, was I made sure that I was eating a lot of whole foods. I upped my protein. I was making sure that I had well-balanced meals throughout the day. Obviously, some meals are not as like full balanced, but I mean, I have my healthy carbs, my healthy fats, everything like that, right? So if you know me, I love to meal prep. I love to like make homemade meals a lot. So that is what I focused on a lot this year, is just nourishing my body, listening to what it needed food-wise, and really just, again, made sure I was healing my body. That was the main thing. I wanted to decrease my inflammation, and by that I was nourishing my body with proper foods. And if you know me, my motto is eat how you want to feel in your body. And that is what I did. I literally took that motto and I did it to myself. So I would say I was probably in like a 200 to 300 calorie deficit for a little bit. I think that's probably where I was at, to be honest. So I'm someone who would rather eat more food, enjoy it so that I can heal my body, feel good in my body, give my body what it needs so it can work properly, but still be in a calorie deficit, but by introducing more exercise. That leads me to tip number 2, which is being intentional with my training, being intentional with movement. So before, I used to train to look a certain way. Obviously, aesthetics is definitely a benefit of training and taking care of your body. Absolutely. I'm not going to even lie about that. I love seeing my body transform. I think it's so cool that our bodies can do these kind of things, that like if you're healthy, you can see muscle growth, you can look healthy and feel strong physically and mentally. Like, I love that. Like, I'm obsessed with feeling good and I'm obsessed with getting stronger, and it's so cool to see. But what I did this year is I stopped focusing on the fat loss aspect and the way I wanted to look, and I focused on just getting stronger. I focused on making it to the gym, pushing through my workout because I needed it. I relied on my fitness this year to make me mentally stronger, like literally. Like, I would be at the gym, like head in the game, like I'd be in a bad mood and I just wanted to like move my body, lift heavy weights and feel good. That's all I wanted to do. So that is what I did with my training, right? I followed my program. I made sure I was intentional with it. I went in, I made sure to push myself past those last reps that were super hard. Meanwhile, I was gaining muscle. When you gain muscle, you burn fat. I didn't do any intense cardio. I enjoy my walks. I was living in the mountains throughout most of the year, so I would be outside for walks every day, hitting those 10, 12K steps. And then again, those are just the extra things that I was doing to burn extra, to be in that extra calorie deficit. And by that, I was again increasing my walks, running, doing that kind of cardio, but I wasn't killing myself doing it. I wanted to do it. I wanted to be outside. I wanted to improve my mental health. I love running. I love running. Running is like, to me, it connects me with myself and just literally shuts the world off. Just like training does, but like in a different aspect completely, actually. But I love both. So I didn't force myself to do anything that I didn't want to do already. And that's the difference, right? Like if you are training for a aesthetic, for a fat loss, for like something like that, and you're like feeling like you're punishing yourself, that's where you're wrong. That's where you're going wrong. You don't want to ever feel like your workouts or exercise is punishing yourself. You have a beautiful body and does incredible things and is able to do these things for you. So utilizing that and changing your mindset around fitness and how you nourish your body is going to get you even further along on your health journey, because you're just like excited. You're excited to try new meals. You're excited to try new workouts, to see what your body can do today, to see how you can feel better, right? So those things for me were like what I was striving for rather than thinking about a fat loss journey to begin with. Tip number 3, I was listening to myself. I was listening to what I needed. I wasn't like, oh, I can't go out for dinner because I'm like on this journey, right? So I was really listening to myself and like what I needed. If I needed an extra rest day, if I needed a week off, if I needed a deload week, if I needed a piece of chocolate cake, if I needed a bottle of wine, I would listen to myself and what I needed, because my mental health was way more important on this journey than what I look like. I wasn't doing this journey. Truthfully, I wasn't really necessarily trying to lose fat. I just wanted to feel better. So I was doing the things that I knew made me feel really good. And I listened to myself again, like if I didn't want to do something, whatever it was, I just listened. I listened to what I needed and I made it about me and not like, I need to hurry up and get to the finish line, because there is no finish line when you're in a health and fitness journey. It is a lifestyle. If you want to feel good all the time, it's not like, okay, let's just do this for like 60 days and then we're going to stop and we're going to go back to everything else and then we'd have to start this all over again, right? So I really took it intentionally. I made this a lifestyle. I asked myself what I needed, what was going to get me there. And that I think is the biggest thing. I didn't look at what other people were doing. I did what I wanted to do. I did what worked for me and my lifestyle and where I was at in my journey. All right, tip number 4 already. Okay, so we're talking about consistency and versus discipline. Consistency versus discipline. So we are creatures of habit. Plain and simple. See, in my meals, I eat a lot of the same thing because I'm a creature of habit and I like what I like. But when it comes to wanting to see change, you need to make change happen. No one's gonna do that for you. You can hire a coach, you can do all those things, but the coach is not gonna do it for you. You need to execute. You need to execute, that's it. That is literally the name of the game. You need to ask yourself how important this is for you, and if it is, you need to do the hard shit. You need to get out of your comfort zone and do it. You know what to do. I feel like you do. I feel like you know what you do. You just are waiting for someone to be like, here's an easier way. There you go. It ain't gonna happen. You need to get off your own ass and you need to start making change, which is going to need discipline. I've said no to a lot of things. I have had to create boundaries, again, adjust the way that I'm thinking and stay consistent with those actions. It's not just saying no once in a while. It's saying like no if you really mean no. If it's not aligned with where you want to go and all those things, you need to say no. You need to stand up for yourself because this is your life. Your life is right now and no one's gonna change it for you. My motto last year was, what will make yourself proud tomorrow? That's what I asked myself, was what's gonna make you prouder tomorrow? And it literally worked. I was like, oh fuck, like I should go to the gym. I know I'm gonna be so much prouder if I go to the gym because then like it's gonna screw up my schedule, like whatever it was, right? I always asked myself, what's gonna make you prouder tomorrow? And that was the gym, that was food choices, that was if I wanted to go out, if that was work related. That's like literally everything. What is gonna make me prouder tomorrow? That is what helped me get one step closer every single day to my goal. It made me consistently show up every single day. I mean, and there's a difference of showing up every single day. And I think people expect it to be like an all or nothing mentality. But sometimes you showing up every day looks like getting out of the bed and just putting your workout clothes on and then making a good meal and maybe even not making it to the gym. But the fact that you just even put your workout clothes on, that could be a better day than you just not doing it at all. So not every day is gonna look the same, and God, not every day looked the same for me this year, you guys. I am happy to like even be sitting here talking to you guys because my mental health was such in a rough place that I didn't know if I was gonna make it out. So if I could pull myself out of that and like work through that, I think anything is possible. That's how hard it was. So that is what showing up for yourself looks like, and then just staying consistent. Just stay consistent. Stop looking at the scale every day. Stop looking in the mirror every day being like, I don't see a change. No, it's not gonna happen overnight. It's not gonna happen overnight because you didn't gain all the weight overnight. You didn't get all that inflammation overnight. You know, you didn't have a baby overnight. There's nothing happens overnight. Nothing happens overnight. You gotta stay consistent no matter what. If you're putting in the work day after day, I promise you, you're gonna see progress, but you just can't give up on yourself. All right, so tip number five. All right, so number 5, we made realistic goals for ourselves. That is number 5. I know, right? Seems like an easy one. However, the biggest mistake that I see people make, and I've seen it in my clients, is we try to do too many things at once. We think we need to change this, and then we just try and do all of these things, come up with a plan. January 1st hits, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna start working on my fitness, I'm gonna start eating healthier, I'm gonna start getting my steps in, I'm gonna start sleeping better, I'm gonna start doing this. You have all these things that you're trying to work on, and then come January 18th, nothing. And it's because you're setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up to not succeed. And that is not going to help you see progress. That's not gonna help you feel better. That's not gonna help you find the confidence that you want in yourself. What I did in 2023 is I made weekly goals. Okay, so what am I working on this week? And I would focus on one thing at a time, nailing it and adding something else in, right? I made sure, like, I made a list of the things that I knew that I wanted to work on and adding to my schedule and adding to like my daily routine. But it wasn't about hitting every single one all the time. It was really focusing on one at a time. And then once again, that one was implemented, okay, next, right? So for me, it was really like water, steps. Still working on my steps. That was really good for a while. And then I stopped being so good. Anyway, steps, sleep, which we also need to work on again. Eating whole foods, you know, eating enough protein, eating enough carbs, all of that kind of stuff. Making sure that I was journaling in the morning. I had my morning routine concrete. I was journaling, I was reading. So basically I would just set up weekly goals, habit by habit, didn't overload my plate, and that's that. So I suggest if you're trying to implement new things into your life, I would make a list of the things that you know that can support how you want to feel. Make sure it's for you, and then it's for no one else, that you're choosing habits that are based around you, your lifestyle, and how you want to feel. And then start with one at a time, just one. If you're not working out yet, maybe it's you want to move in your body. If you're not nourishing your body enough, maybe that's what you have to work on first. If it comes for health and fitness, I would always highly recommend starting off with nutrition. Because if you're not supporting your body to get through the workouts, or even just throughout your entire day, if you're someone who doesn't eat enough and you're implementing workouts before focusing on nutrition, I highly recommend sticking to nutrition first before starting to move your body. Because again, if you're not eating enough, you're just burning more calories, which is adding more stress to your body, which cannot be good for you. So I would always start with nutrition, always, and then go from there. Anyway, that was besides the point, but I feel like that was a really good tip for you. So those are my 5 tips. Again, I feel like you were waiting for some magic. However, it's not about magic. It's really about healing your body from, if you're someone like me who underate for so many years, or just making sure that you're eating the proper amount of food for your body. So it wasn't about cutting, it was about nourishing. It wasn't about overtraining, it was about training smart and doing things that I really enjoy. It wasn't about being unrealistic with my goal setting. I was realistic and I was choosing how to show up every single day for myself. It was about being disciplined, doing things that made me proud. It was about consistently showing up as best as I can from day to day. And it was about listening to what I needed. If I needed an extra rest day, if I needed a burger, if I needed, whatever I needed. If I needed a glass of wine, I did it. I didn't restrict myself. So I feel like this video has so many tips for you. So rewatch it, ask questions. Again, I'm here for you. Let's make this the best, healthiest year. Thanks so much for tuning in to episode number 1. I hope you really enjoyed it. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, whatever you feel like doing to support your girl so I can continue making some awesome videos for you. I'm so excited to help you along your health and fitness journey in 2024 so you can become the healthiest and most confident version of yourself. See you next week.